evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to tonight's Apex MX-5 Sim Series, where tonight we come at you live from the beautiful, historic, and virtual Virginia International Raceway. My name's Sean Stam, live here on Stam Studio Network, and tonight marks a crucial point in the season. 5 races remaining on the calendar. Championship picture is tight, tight, tight. Every single point will matter from here on out. It's pretty much going to be stock car racing action out here from Virginia. Very fast, flowy racetrack. Taking a look at some point standings before we cut into virtual racing action. Stone Colby, Joe Rainey, Nico Colby, top 3. Brenton Birch coming out with his race win last week at Laguna Seca. P4, Marvin Samayua P5. Realistically, it's still anybody up there in the top 5, top 6 ball game. You still have Slater Colby, Joey Rainey, Darren Colby, Andrew Babb rounding at the top 10, Nathaniel Redmond, Warren Johnson, Victor Lane, Connor T. Cunningham, and Lucas Barnett rounding at the top 15. Hopefully you're all doing well down there in YouTube land, MD. Hopefully your night gets there just a little bit better, because this will be some very nice fun racing tonight from VIR, one of my favorite racetracks. And if you don't quite have the iRacing Simulation Motorsports membership, if you do get just the membership itself, VIR comes free with the car that we're racing tonight, these Mazda MX-5s. Real quick, 3 things that we got to get off our chest real quick before we get into virtual racing action. Happy birthday, Nico. First of all, it's the start of his real-life racing journey pretty much today. Starts at Mid-Ohio coming up. Happy birthday, Nico. Let's hear it for him down in YouTube land, as well as let's hear it for Jeremy Fletcher. Congratulations signing with Copeland Motorsports up for the upcoming GR86 Real Life Cup season. Also, West Coast Sim Racing P Cup starts tomorrow. The first series of that season, first race of that season will be broadcasted live here on Stam Studio Network. Be sure you join us there. You're not going to want to miss some West Coast Sim Racing action as we get to our starting grid tonight. This Apex MX-5 Sim Racing Series. Jeremy Fletcher, driver of the number 22. We just talked about that GFR Esports, man. Slaps it on the pole with the 206.689. It'll be Lucas Barnett, P2. Outside front row by only 0.02 of a second back. Barnett fast in practice, fast in quali as well. Joe Rainey, who sits P3 in our point standing, P2 in our point standings. He'll start P3 here tonight in his Rainey Holmes racing machine. Brandon Birch, once again, off of his race win last week at Laguna Seca. He'll start P4. Josh Hunter finishing P6 last week. He'll start P5. Slater Colby, nice qualifying there for him, 1.3 seconds off of Fletcher's lap. Stone Colby will start P7, right caddy corner to his twin bro. Victor Ling, P8, Connor Cunningham, Michael Tenegretta, Warren Johnson, our league owner for West Coast Sim Racing, and Darren Colby, the father of the trio bunch. He'll start P12. Daniel Ramirez, Josh Ferrier, John Mullenkamp, Virgil Kagdak, Daniel Ramirez, Jason Holcomb, Thomas Dively, Kenneth Lawless, Nico Colby, Diego Feldermerda, as well as Mark Stemp. Round out our 23 count them. 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm not going to count them all. 23 driver grid. We are now getting ready to roll out here from, again, one of my favorite, if you're just now joining in, Sean Stam on Stam Studio Network, one of my favorite tracks, Virginia International Raceway. It's fast, it's flowy, very little brake usage. We're going to use those downshifts as well to help get these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars slowed and whoa all back down. There you see Slater Colby in his vibrant red, vehiclebuyers.com, overstockvehiclebuyers.com. Doing exactly what you got to do here right as you get out of the pits. As soon as Slater got out of the pits, already working those tires, working those pressures, working those temps. As we still have a long pace lap to go, but each and every little bit's going to count from this 45-minute sprint race. We'll also have that competition caution at or around 20 minutes down. We're going to bunch the field right back up. No pace car needed. We'll just slow and roll them all right back up. All right, let us know how you're doing in YouTube land out here tonight, as well as who you're rooting on. Everything is sounding A-OK. MD says good luck to the Colbys. Happy birthday, Nico. Happy birthday, Nico. go. Let's see if he can work his way back and in from P20. We also have some big old heavy hitters. Thomas Dively, Diego Valderrama, as well as Jason Aldo. Even John Mullenkoff, they're starting from 15th on back. Even Derek Colby, 14th, 13th on back. This field is completely split on this race start. It's an open qualifying session. It's a 15-minute quali session before the race. Some of these drivers maybe not quite getting their lap times in that they were looking for, or you got those lap times that you were looking for, and some of these faster drivers that are starting their way a little kind of halfway throughout the pack. Some other names that continue to show out some very nice race results throughout the season. On the right side of your screen, Victor Ling in his number 24 Apex Motor Club Mazda MX-5. Keep an eye on that BL24 racing machine as he's continued to show some pace out throughout this season. Back in with Sim Racing with us tonight. I was going to go over that there just a little bit out there after the race has started, but that's something that I love out here. It's seeing these drivers go from back and forth, real life racing, back to sim racing. I mean, you hear it from the drivers themselves. They say that they don't have the G-forces to feel available when you are sim racing. You're relying all on the force feedback. I'm not going to say who told me this one, but that it's lack of feeling within the cheeks, and we're not talking cheeks on the face. Back out here going up within our roller coaster section, our last 4 turns on the racetrack, and I'm all seriousness out there. It's those kind of differences that will make or break you out here within this quick 45-minute sprint. Once again, competition caution at or around 20 minutes into the race. Field is bunched up, ready to go. That iRacing Porsche safety pace car getting ready to work his way down into the safety pit lane. First row, Jeremy Fletcher, Lucas Barnett, fast drivers in practice, fast drivers in qualifying. Joe Rainey, Brendan Birch, that's row 2. Josh Hunter, Slater Colby, that's row 3. Stone Colby, Victor Ling, that they're sitting in row 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you know what time it is. Everybody get up, stand up for your life. Come on now, don't you ever give up the fight. We are green flag racing out here, the Apex MX-5 Cup Series, already fanning out 3 wide in the back of the pack. We'll continue to look out here up front. Joe Rainey given a bump draft to Jeremy Fletcher's rear end. Now they'll separate side by side from second on back. 3 wide, settles it back down from 2 between Slater Colby, Brendan Birch, as well as Stone. Nice start to the race as Jeremy Fletcher will stake his way down and up the hill. We go for the first time. It's the NASCAR bend. Here's Jeremy Fletcher continuing to lead him out there. Lucas Barnett takes away P2 as Joe Rainey now starts to run wide. Here comes Brendan Birch up into P3. Josh Hunter up into P4. Stone Colby, nice start to the race. He gains a spot. He runs P6. And don't fault these drivers. We're already going to see the single file action start to ensue. Nice job for Warren Johnson on that start as well. This is a long, well, I mentioned it is a sprint race, but it's still a long way to go and a long time to get there. These drivers just looking to put down at least this first lap as they'll now make their way throughout this hairpin right-hander. Most important corner of the track. They're going to try to want to nail that corner entrance, roll that throttle pedal on corner exit, hopping on board with Brendan Birch sitting P4 as he did just that. Got a nice corner exit there. He'll get that slipstream, he'll get that draft. This is what I mentioned pre-race right now. We're going to see the equivalent of, maybe not the equivalent of NASCAR, but definitely some stock car racing action out here from these Mazda MX-5s. Now working up into roller coaster for the first time under green flag conditions. Fletcher, 1.1 second gap. Barnett to P2. Joe Rainey still sits P3. Josh Hunter, also nice start to the race for him. Stone Colby, Brendan Birch, same story there. Brendan started P4, so excuse me. He was outside on that second row back. Brendan Birch continuing to run exactly where he started. That's a very nice feat earlier on in this race, and I'm not talking below the knees. Connor Cunningham up to P8, still running up 1 spot gained up and in front of Victor Ling. But keep an eye on Victor Ling. I mentioned that as well as Will Knight work some side by side and up in front of them going into turn 1. Stone Colby, he went a little bit wide. I think that allows Josh Hunter to now start to make a move as well. The close battles, I mean, we're still working 1 to 2/10 of a second back. Warren Johnson leading Josh Ferrier. Daniel Ramirez working their way back up through the hill. I think this is now through NASCAR. It was fun seeing the Garage 56 videos back when they were testing out here in the Fort La Mama. And Daniel Ramirez just about to talk about what a nice run it was. We'll call that the Sean Tater curse for the number 11. He's going to get that thing pointed back and right in the right direction, but unfortunately loses 1, if not 2 spots. There goes Kenneth Lawless around the track. Kenneth goes for a slight blink there as we join the battle. Nico Colby. Nico is the birthday man up there running in 16th, gained 5 spots since the drop of the green. Not the qualifying effort he was looking for, or just didn't qualify at all. Continuing to show his way towards the front of the back. The original Catman, he's 17. He's got, that is Diego Villamoreno right there behind him. Also, Jason Holcomb, Thomas Dively, Darren Colby out there running 18th, 19th, 20th. Here's what happened to Darren Colby out here. This was the start of the race. Oh man, as we're coming to take the green flag, I think that was. Yeah, if not right there after the green flag, going up into 1 and 2. Darren a little bit wide. I think that is going 1 and 2, and then contact off of the triple threes front end. We still can't even. There's finally a camera shot of it there. Are soft into the tire barriers. He'll get it pointed back in the right way, and waiting for that competition caution is Darren Colby. If you're just now joining us, it was a pretty clean, calm, and cordial start to the race, and we continue to see some clean, calm, but some hard racing out here between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th on back. We also have, I'm showing right now in timing and scoring just some off tracks out there at the start of the race, not necessarily any huge incidents or spin out there. We did have contact out there between the 333 and Darren Colby at their opening lap. Other than that, though, still 4/10 of a second separate Brendan Birch and Stone Colby working their way through the trees and down up through the S's section. I was just coming off of a broadcast of NASCAR out at COTA. I did the Full Throttle Performance Cup Series. They follow the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. And those S's are on the lines out of so many Americas. And I think the racing of these drivers, although there is a little bit more elevation change throughout them, is now they're working their way a little bit more toward that right hand with a hairpin double right-hander, as I mentioned before. Most important point of the racetrack, I do feel like. Back in throughout those S's, though, these drivers are fighting for grip within the front end of those machines. They're trying to sacrifice maybe a slight lift on that throttle pedal going into the S's to where they are able to get that front and rear end gripped out there without him, as well as able to keep down that slipstream and draft up there as we're once again on board with Slater Colby. I was trying to compare a little bit to stock car racing action. What is a slight lift on these very momentum heavy Mazda MX-5 Cup cars? What is a trail break and a downshift within stock car racing action? We'll get back out here between Mazda MX-5 Cups. If you're just now joining us, Sean Stam, Stam Studio Network, producing, directing, commentating the show. Jeremy Fletcher running away with it, but that's I wouldn't call that done here just yet. We know Fletcher likes to start to fletch on it here to get these battles close up here between these front runners. I saw that. I was running out here within this series. What was it? The Monday night West Coast Sim Racing Series in the Toyota GRD6s, and the race leader says there's a nice move from Brendan Birch down and around the inside of Joe Rainey. Joe Rainey, house is a knocking, don't bother knocking, just come on in. Brendan Birch up to P3. Back out here to when I was racing with these cats out here on Monday nights in the West Coast Sim Racing broadcast on V-Speed. Oh man, they're not only fast as all hell, but they definitely know how to put on a show for the race fans. Jeremy Fletcher doing just that right now in respect with his lap times. He continues to put down 2:07.77. His best last lap was was his last lap by. Fastest lap of the race, though, goes to Nico Colby, who still continues to run P15, but not really gaining any more positions up there until then. That would be 0.3 of a second faster than Fletcher's fastest lap. And it's all a momentum ball game right now between Burnett, I would call it about 6th and 7th. Barnett, Birch, Rainey, both Colbys, and Josh Hunter. It's right now, you're trying to carry that speed, carry that momentum, carry them down into pit lane. I'm just kidding there. Lucas Barnett, what happened to the 008 as he dives into pit lane? He did the Sean and Tater. I used to do that back when I first was racing this track, and that is no penalty of its own. That was the alternate course layout pit lane. Lucas Barnett fakes them all out there. He got me. He got me as well. Continues to clear that battle up and in for P2 over Brandon Birch, our last week's race winner. I can't believe I just fell for that. Birch to P3. Stone Colby still running up to P4. Joe Rainey up to P5. Nice move up for Barnett as well. I'm surprised that iRacing still hadn't passed that, as that is years in the making. Oh, now there is a black flag for Barnett. Now, I don't know if he'll definitely get it cleared, or I don't know if Nico's messing with this or what. It is Nico's birthday after all. Back within that P2 and P3 battle. Brandon Birch, he does the same move as last lap by. That's when he was battling Joe Rainey. Down around the inside, not quite clear. Barnett is going to try to fight it on back. His black flag is now clear. It'll be side by side between the two. Now Birch, so here comes Stone, following Barnett's footsteps up into the P4. Nice multiple passes lap after lap after laps for Brandon Birch. Talking point standings, Brandon Birch into the race 4th in the points. It's still, if my math is mathing, as long as, I think it's mathing out here. I believe the top 5 drivers in the point would be Stone, Joe, Nico, Brandon, and Marvin Samayoa. Still have a realistic battle out here of conquering that top 6 as well with Jake Stegler. They still have a realistic battle out here with conquering that race championship, and I believe it is 5 races time. Continuing to see the battles heat up, boil, looking like a crawfish boil out here. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all the way down and down. Slater Colby, who started out there running, they started out there 6th, now running 7th in his number 25 Overstock vehicle buyers MX-5. Hopping on board the driver iCam this time, it's Stone Colby all over Lucas Barnett's rear end here after Lucas faked us out last lap. It's some more slipstream, it's some more draft. This time they'll bump draft. It's too much for Lucas Barnett. He gets deep into the corner after Stone Colby. Not necessarily contact between the two, but with the run of momentum out there, it shoved the 008 up and in front. And now, Lucas Barnett able to somehow downshift that thing hard under the brakes. If it was nighttime, you'd be able to see those brake discs blowing. Burnett continuing to hold off now. Stone Colby, who works his way into that final driver interview position. 11 minutes down. We're still working a little bit closer towards that competition caution. About, we'll call it 18, 19 minutes out here from now. Excuse me. 11, 12 minutes out here from now. 3-way battle continuing, 5-way battle. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Here comes Stone Colby, here comes Joe Rainey, Josh Hunter still up in there as well. This battle's continuing to heat up right now, but we still have battles all over the racetrack. Looking at Connor Cunningham, Daniel Ramirez, 11th. Now belongs to Nico Colby. As there goes, who is that? Daniel Ramirez there just a little bit wide. He's going to be able to get it right back onto the racing line up there in front of Josh Ferrier. Josh Ferrier started P14 right there behind Daniel Ramirez. That started getting nice, continuing to run out here within these lap times for even 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, 14th. There's battles, like I said, all around the racetrack. Lap times worthy of top 5 all around the racetrack as well. Derek Colby continuing to work his way up and into that battle between Diego Valdemerda as well as Kenneth Lawless. I think Darren's going to right now have to rather rely on that competition caution after he had that huge contact out of the 333. I know Darren's licking his chops right now, though, as he continued to close that gap to the 333 up there and in front of him. Back out here to the battle between second, third, fourth, and fifth, and I might have to stand corrected. Fletcher's making me bite my words right now. 5.3 second gap out up front. Joining battle on that rear end of Barnett. Whoa, here comes Stone Colby. A bump and a half. Thankfully, there you see it pop right back out. No damage on these MX-5s tonight, as well as throughout the whole season. I know that lots of these drivers probably wishing that was the exact. I'm sure these drivers were wishing that real life racing was there just like that. You see the damage pops right back out. Probably save Stone Colby a whole front end out there. Not necessarily a clip, but at least the bumper for him. So Fletcher still now with a 6 second gap. My goodness. Barnett P2, Stone Colby P3. There goes Joe Rennie up working to P4, his Rennie Owns Racing realty machine. If you're out down around, I would call it Maricopa, Arizona, if not Phoenix area up there, if you're looking for some very nice homes, make sure you hit up Rennie Owns Racing in his number 17. He's continuing to rock, roll steadily, work his way and keep his way throughout and in that front back. Remember, Joe Rennie started P3. That would have been that final driver interview spot. Right now, Joe Rennie still knocking on the rear bumper of Stone Colby, but Stone continues to be the man on a mission, working his way throughout the front of the pack. Now and up into that final driver interview spot. Stone, we continue to see the teamwork make the dream work out there between Lucas Barnett and Stone Colby. That's still running to Joe Rennie, not looking to make a move, or really trying to make the slingshot, maybe trying to make the shake and bake happen out here. A little bit of Ricky Bobby. No, Joe Rennie. Exit. That's what we come to expect out here. Joe Rennie, a team player. That Rennie Owns Racing 17. He's going to get a little bit of team shot out there from Slater Colby down in round turn number 20. They'll make their way down and throughout the. Excuse me. No, I think that is the old track. I keep being tricked out by the old layout. Sorry about that. That's down and through the old oak tree. I believe it was 14, 15. Now they're making their way down and through the heading up into roller coaster section. Back on this onboard shot, fastest portion of the racetrack right now. Speeds 135 miles an hour. Whoa, it's a bump draft all gone wrong. There goes Lucas Barnett. What was a little bit of accordion effect we saw as we were on board with Joe Rennie. He bumped and thrumped and maybe not trumped, but bumped and thrumped Stone Colby's back bumper. Shot him up there and there into Lucas Barnett. Here's a race replay of that one. And we'll try to take a look at the Stam Studio Network drone camera shots here. We're going to probably have to back that one up. As you see, that's all it takes. It doesn't take much to send one of these lightweight, light horsepower Mazda MX-5 Cup cars down, out and around town. Here's another look at it. Yeah, there you see it, and we'll back it up as we'll get the forklift driver out here. One more look at this. There goes Joe Rennie all over Stone Colby's back bumper, and it's just a tiny bit too much of a push out there. It gets Lucas Barnett's rear wind all wibbly wobbly, and then the huge contact for Barnett out there in the inside tire barriers. It's heartbreak before the competition caution, and we are still out here out up front with Jeremy Fletcher. 7.7 seconds. Fletcher's fletching it out there up front, or is he flexing it? I still don't know. It probably still accounts for the same thing. Slater Colby up to P2 after starting P6. We've continued to see Slater. This is the exact thing that we've seen continue to maybe even as we've seen from Stone Colby as well, maybe not have the qualifying effort that he was necessarily looking for, but it's all within these longer runs of the race. These tires start to heat up, they start to build pressure, these drivers start to get, I wouldn't necessarily say more acclimated to it, but they start to get within these battles as well. And that's the kind of drivers that we're dealing with out here. It is one of the best, if not the best, clean, ethical wheel, as well as hard racing that you get here within iRacing, sim racing motorsports. Josh Hunter, Brandon Birch, talk about some side-by-side, talk about some clean battles. They're going to work their way door to door this time into the little bit more elevation portion of the track. Brandon Birch, after working his way up into, I thought it was P3 earlier on into the race, he now falls back into P6 after what was some contact there. right now is trying to get Josh Hunter right back into P5. Josh Hunter has had a nice season thus far as well. I believe that was P6 if my notes do serve me correct there from Josh last week at Laguna Seca. We're still working with that, we're working with the elevation, not necessarily corkscrew elevation changes, but we're also working with a little bit more greenery on the track side as well. You don't have as much dust to deal with out there if you slip one tire off of it, as well as those sausage curves. We're really dealing with these 3D rendered rumble strips out here from VIR. Coming up here to 17:38 down, coming just to 2 minutes left to go. My God. Not only is the math crazy, but as well as Brendan Birch, not necessarily crazy, but nice move out there. Almost got side by side with Josh Hunter. But doing that though, Brendan Birch did lose all that speed and momentum that he had going up there, starting that lap. He's going to have to try to get it all back there. As now Lucas Barnett is right now knocking all over Warren Johnson. What is that? I'm going to have to come back to it. Now they're going to run side by side, go through the S's. Nice move up there, whether it was a slight lift of the gas for Warren Johnson or just the slingshot there for the Burger King machine. We know Lucas Barnett knows how to make the slingshot happen up there. What was it? Daytona down and around the outside, coming towards the stripe. Checkered flag. Passes two, or what was it? The two Colby bros. 3 wide. Talk about speed. Talk about momentum. Barnett working it right now. Continuing to, even though falling it back to P7, work his way backing up towards the front. Jeremy Fletcher leads him coming towards the yellow. Here's the yellow and black Randy Holmes Racing Machine. He gets his way backing up to P2. Stone Colby, Slater Colby, Josh Hunter, Brendan Birch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lucas Barnett, P7. Warren Johnson, P8. How about Nico Colby? We haven't really gotten too much of a chance to look at some of Nico Colby's passes here just yet, but already Birthday Boy up and into P9, 12 spots gained since the drop of the green. Michael Tenegretta, P10. I'm butchering it either way, so I'm at least trying one more option. Michael Tenegretta up there, P10, and Victor Lynn, P11, Connor T. Cunningham, P12. As we will, I misspoke earlier. I apologize there. We will fire out the iRacing safety pace car at least for 2 laps time as we will get the field re-racked and restacked. David Ramirez runs P13. David Ramirez runs P14. Both of our drivers shown with the Colombian flag right now racing up there. It looks like they're racing, but they're just catching up the pack. Is a little bit of bump draft action there for Josh Ferrer as well. Virgil Kaknak still runs P16. How about Thomas Dively? I know Thomas was excited to see the broadcast link posted. He responded with a little checkered flag emoji up there. The Beer Budget Racing at number 88 Mazda MX-5. A little bit of red, white, and blue plastered all over it. 88 up and into P17. Are we wrecking up? Sorry, I was seeing timing to score. He's going all over the place. Darren Colby, VehicleBuyers.com. Exactly what I mentioned earlier on, even though what the start of the race was necessarily looking for. Not only does Darren Colby have it out here from real life Apex Motor Club out just outside of Maricopa, but this Apex MX-5 Sim Racing Series, we have seen Darren Colby do just this. If he is caught up in a little something that even it's not his own doing, Darren will slice dice, work his way through the field. Right now continuing to run 18. Diego Valdemarada started, although P21. Diego, nice start to the race out for him. 3 spots gained, continuing to catch the pack as well. Kenneth Lawless, P20 in the triple 3. Jason Holcomb, P21. John Mollenkopf runs P22, and Mark Stepp runs P23. Appreciate those sponsors and affiliates up there in the top right of the screen. Appreciate our YouTube members as well. We're talking Ricardo Keno, Ashley L, Austin Mice, Tyler Massey, even one of our own, John Mollenkopf. I don't think he's down here still on the virtual race track tonight, but John, we appreciate your monthly contributions as well. We'll have to, I have some new merch out there, some new stickers, some new hats, some new t-shirts. I'm gonna have to say that there's some merch to all my YouTube members. Make sure to show my appreciation out there to them. So, man, my appreciation to the race field, Jeremy Fletcher. 7.7 seconds, all shriveled down here. We're gonna re-rack, restack. Joe Rainey continued to gain that one spot after dropping back down to around P3 to P4. Checking in on one of these passes out there from Joe Rainey, and this is on to Stone Colby. I believe this is, yeah, look at Stone. He's going to run way wide up there. Falls 1 to 2 spots down. That allows Slater Colby to get one of those spots back, but Stone does make at least the position back up to third. Some more positions up here. Lucas Barnett, Joe Rainey going at it there. I believe this is, no, that's after the caution. It looks like some dang good racing, I'll tell you that much. No, I'm just kidding. It has been some dang good racing out here as we still have the lights on that iRacing safety Porsche Cup car. Speaking of Porsche Cup cars, we got West Coast Sim Racing tomorrow night, broadcasted at least race 1 on Stamp Review Network. Make sure you join us. Daytona International Speedway. Who's going to take the checkered flag? Who's going to join us up there in YouTube land as well? Milena Colby. Welcome in, Milena. Where's Marvin? His rig not working good. Moonlight Ninja says, I think so. Would be happy to visit you guys. Milena is showing the birthday emoji out there. Not only is Milena Colby mother of the triple Colby action out there racing with us, as well as married out there to Darren, but Milena, she was, I guess it still considered is our better half dash champion up there as she took it out into the mini stocks in Charlotte Motor Speedway from, of course, out here in the sim racing world. But man, Milena, how about it? She showed some nice speed, nice space in those 3 different heat races. Right now, it's only 2 different races, though. It's that first sort of half of the race that we saw Jeremy Fletcher run away with Joe Rainey, Stone, and Slater. Nice battles up there. Battles throughout the whole field. I mean, Brandon Birch, Josh Hunter, Victor Ling, Nico Colby seeing his way, work his way back into the top 10. Connor T. Cunningham, Michael Tenegretta in some battles of their own. The 2 Ramirez's, David running 13th and 14th. Nice start to the front half of this race. Josh Farrer continuing to run where he started, virtual CAC deck as well. Thomas Dively, P17. Is that Skidmark Sim Racing? I stand corrected if so. Thomas Dively, P18 in the number 88. Keep your eye on that cat tonight as well. Wow. We are just running out of that iRacing, excuse me. I guess it still is considered Oak Tree, even though the Oak Tree is unfortunately no longer with us. Thank you, Jeremy Fletcher, for testing Stone Colby's cat-like reflexes. We'll see that damage, thankfully, get right back into him. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it the last time that we were racing out here from Virginia International Raceway, as we're still beating and banging? Was it Jeremy Fletcher, or was it, oh man, I swear, it was one of these tracks, just like VIR, that Jeremy he came out from Mach 2 on the closing laps of the race out there, and in one frame it went from right of the screen all the way to the left, and timing and scoring was all over the place. So if timing and scoring goes all over the place tonight, I would keep an eye on that cat with his, is that a Cookie Monster helmet? Hang on out there. No, in all seriousness though, once again, congrats out there to the champ, Jeremy Fletcher, signing with Copeland Motorsports in the upcoming GR86 Cup car season. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He's going to be in both these cars, as we saw from Monday night, Toyota GR86s, as well as these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching in here tonight, Stam Studio Network. Sean Stam producing, directing, commentate the show. We are green flagged out side by side through second and third, fourth on back, and then it's Warren Johnson, Josh Hunter, who joins 5th, 6th, and 7th battles. Fletcher leads him down then to turn number 1. Here comes Stone Colby. Nice start to the race as he gets that rear end yawed out there, but uses that speed, uses that momentum out there to now work his way down and throughout NASCAR Bend. Here comes Brandon Birch. Nice start to the race for him as well. So far, none of these drivers are able to close that gap up to Fletcher, who continues to fletch it out up front. Now through the at least first corner portion of the S's, Joe Rainey, unfortunately not the start of the race that he was looking for, as we'll now hop on board with him, falls back into P3. P4 after once I thought that he restarted up the race backing up to P2. This is a crystal ball right now, and looking into the future within these closing laps of the race, as close as these drivers are, especially up there between the battle for the race lead. Stone Colby all over Jeremy Fletcher. Right now, we're going to see Fletcher start to look at his backup tricks. Will he start to play the defense? The defense, no, he doesn't even need to there. Is look at the gap gained over Stone Colby going into the corner entrance. There we go, off corner exit, most important corner of the racetrack. Here comes Brendan Birch, tries to pin that throttle pedal down, not able to make that one happen. Joe Rainey, P4, Slater Colby, P5, Josh Hunter, who works his way up to P6. Lucas Barnett continues to try and claw his way back, and it's still, of course, Nico Colby, highest driver gained on positions. That is up and into P8's 13 spots. Stone Colby still trying to breathe all over that rear neck of Jeremy Fletcher. Right now, the house, I mean, not the house, the dog of Stone Colby, he's nothing but a hound dog right now, hounding that rear bumper of the JFR esports machine, but still within these faster corners of the racetrack, within where you're trying to keep that speed momentum up, Stone Colby loses just a little bit. I'm not sure within if it's the dirty air with it. I mean, we're definitely running speeds at upwards of 126 miles an hour. Definitely enough for Stone Colby to feel that dirty air difference in his Mazda MX-5 Cup car. But look at the speed difference out here. It's within these slower portions of the corners that Stone is able to close the gap, and then the faster corners of the racetrack where Jeremy Fletcher's able to kind of pull away. That's exactly what I was alluding to with that air. Stone maybe trying to search for just a little bit, trying to get at least a headlight out there or two within those faster corners of the racetrack. As we admire our positions out here between 5th, 6th, and 7th as well, that air continues to get just a little bit more turbulent. And I know that there's a couple race fans, probably some drivers specifically, they're saying, what are you talking about? But as fast as VIR is, I mean, in the races that I've run specifically as well up to the official iRacing series, you definitely can start to feel that within the race wheel. Not only is that dirty air helping you throughout, hurting you throughout the corners, but you have that air, you have that slipstream, you have the draft, and now's where I'm gaining back your trust right here, because you're saying, all right, I'm picking you back up right here, because now as we make our way through the double right-hander through Oak Tree, I believe it is, I'm probably getting it wrong this whole race. We're going to start, as we're still on board with Lucas Barnett, even though he got wobbly wiggly, he's going to use the slipstream, he's going to use that draft, it's going to help him, these Mazda MX-5 poking a huge hole in the air, and that's what warrants, I mean, back to some stock car racing analogies, it's pretty much, not necessarily Daytona and Talladega, but it's the same factors at play. Now, something that we are seeing out there at the front of the racetrack out there as we continue to look at Joe Rainey, Josh Hunter, Lucas Barnett, Stone Colby, Warren Johnson still out there within the battles of themselves. Fletcher's still not able to run away with that race lead. As you can see up in the top left of your screen, still that gap. Well, okay. Now, is of course, right as I say it, Jeremy Fletcher's going to open up the gap at a turn number 12. And look, he opens it up just enough, that he's actually just outside of slipstream and draft range. So Stone Colby will have the back bumper all full of Brendan Birch until Brendan now tries to look down to the inside. Brendan leaves the door open for Slater. Colby up the floor. That is just the right timing, just what I needed. Fletcher now 0.8 of a second gap continuing to grow for Stone Colby. Stone, he will have the teamwork out there behind him. We have seen Brendan Birch, Stone Colby, Slater Colby all in this position before. They know how to make this work within these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars specifically, although, well, I will say with Lucas Barnett, that was, I would call that not Lucas's law of motion, it's Newton's law of motion, where we saw the accordion effect, one driver into the other. That's where we're going to have to be careful with these pushes, but you got to do what you got to do. Will we see the bump and run, or will we see a little bit of more bump and staying in line? That battle between Joe Rainey, Josh Hunter, Lucas Barnett. There's Nico Colby starting to tag along out there at the back. Only 14, call it 13 minutes to go, side by side up there between Josh Hunter and Joe Rainey. Josh Hunter's going to run that outside line. Nice. Josh Hunter. He's up to P5. That could definitely help him within the point standings as well. That could hurt Joe Rainey. Joe P2 in the points, only 5 races to go. Points are going to be hard to come by, especially within these closing races of the season. All right, so now Jeremy Fletcher gap stays about the same as we now take a look at an incident. No. Here goes Josh Hunter. Warren Johnson, nice evasive action there. He'll tap the brakes. Misses the kind of slower at the time being Joe Rainey. Warren Johnson, he's up there to P8, but could be dogging it out there for P7. That got tight out there between Josh Hunter. Here's a quick look at this race replay. We have another incident. There's David Ramirez going around. He's going to take Daniel Ramirez out there with him. Not sure who was necessarily... Okay, we'll start out here with Josh Hunter, then we'll take a look at Daniel and David's incident. We're going to have to back this one up here once more and take just a little bit better camera angle at it. That Stam Studio Network drone camera shot. Oh, through roller coaster. That's exactly why they call it roller coaster. Look at the elevation changes. Joe Rainey contact out there with Josh Hunter. Lucas Barnett is unfortunately wrong place, wrong time. He misses it. So does Joe Rainey. And then Warren Johnson, right side of your screen. Nice job there. It looks like Connor Cunningham and the John Torque Mazda MX-5 misses what could have been as well. Here's going to be what happens right there after them. There's Daniel and David Ramirez, center of your screen. I think David's, he gets tight out there throughout the closing corners of the racetrack. I think that's 18, 19 coming throughout 20, and then the battle's still not done there just yet. There's even more contact. I've probably missed a couple spins out here and there, and I do apologize. But still, iRacing Simulation Motors, or excuse me, SDK timing and scoring still not showing me at least too many wrecking incidents. Here is one between Darren Colby and Thomas Dively in the 88 and the 47. This is, what is this? 2, 3, and 4, I think it is. Oh man, Darren Colby into that rear bumper. There you see. I mean, that was it's of course it's not egregious there between the two, but what I'm really getting at there is we'll hop on board with Darren. Even after making the slight mistake that he did too, I mean, carrying the speed out there for Darren, but look, he tries to get up and in front of that, tries to nudge the front of that number 88. Not only does Darren slam the brakes to get the spot right back, but I mean, he really tried to get that number 88 right back and rolling. And that is another thing that I have really only seen out here between these Apex MX-5 Cup guys continue to go at it. They've raced with each other time and time again. I'm not even talking sim racing. Yes, I'm talking real life racing as well. It's all coming down between these last 10 minutes within this race. Fletcher, 1 second gap up there between Brendan Birch, who is now worked between his way up to P2, Stone Colby, Slater Colby, Nico Colby. Keep an eye on that triple Colby action. That is a storm brewing. It is a hurricane. Right now, Brandon Birch is in the eye of the storm as Stone Colby works his way up and into P number 2. I almost wonder if they're trying to get Birthday Boy up and into virtual victory lane, or is it every man for himself in these closing minutes of the race? You're just going to have to stick around and find out here. Sean Stam live on Stam Studio Network. Real quick, here's going to be a look at Brandon Birch's pass there on the start. And then, of course, Stone Colby did get him right back. But this could also be crystal ball effect, looking into what could be within our closing laps to go. Some nice passing opportunities. I believe that's turns 1, 2, and 3 here. Brendan, I mean, just it looks relatively easy. It's a lot more big move back behind the wheel than what it seems. 1.5 second gap now between Fletcher and Stone. It's now separating Stone Colby, Brendan Birch, less than 1/1000th of a second as they'll work that slipstream, work that draft. And this is exactly what I mentioned. Well, now not necessarily here with Nico Colby, as you see that Nico Colby pack start to run single file as well. But I mean, I'm trying to, how do I put this into it? Fletcher right now, he has no help. He is continuing to run, although within the cleanest air of the racetrack. But if Stone Colby, Brendan Birch, and Slater Colby are able to find each other's front and rear bumpers after continue to do exactly what you see from Stone and Brendan, and they can get Slater up there within that as well. They will continue to close that gap out and up between that race lead. It continues to run just about steady going into turns 1, 2, and 3 this time by. Well, as soon as I say that though, Brendan Birch has better places to be, and that could be up to P2 side by side, quarter to quarter. Now Brendan Birch after a slight lift on the gas possibly from Stone, but nope, Stone's gonna slide his foot right back up in it. Back it up to P2, he goes, working it. He uses all the track available, all the available asphalt. Stone Colby back up to P2. Brendan Birch is gonna have to bite the bullet. Is now, don't count out Nico Colby, Lucas Barnett, Joe Rainey, even Warren Johnson so far. I mean, what a start to the race for Warren. He's shown 3 spots from good as well. It's 9 drivers, 10 drivers up here that are all separated between, we'll call it tenths of a second between a couple of them. 4 seconds separating that pack between 5th and 6th. Right now, closest battle on your screen, Stone Colby, Brendan Birch, Slater Colby. Slight blip of that the brake pedal there for Brendan Birch. As you see the brake lights just briefly come to life within these last closing 6 to 7 minutes of the race. 1.5 minutes down. 1.5 seconds down is that gap there between Stone and Jeremy. There you see Slater Colby up in the top right of the screen. Nico Colby really pushing that thing wide. If we take a real quick look at the last lap time history between our front runners, Jeremy Fletcher, he's right now continuing to, I mean, it's not green for Stone Colby at all. Will it be green within these last closing laps of the race? 0.3 of a second lost last lap by, adding that up there within lap 15 as well. That is a whole half of a second that Stone Colby is lacking on, not necessarily lacking on pace up there, but lacking out there between the teamwork out there behind him to try to work his way back and up there to P1. Stone Colby versus Brendan Birch lap times. It's, I think what shows the bigger picture is the visual gaps that continue to close up there. Remember, slipstream draft up there between VIR. Slater Colby, here he comes though, trying to make it three wide this time. Here comes Slater, here comes Brendan. We're going to continue to work side by side between the two. Stone continues to sit up there and into that second position. Slater going to try to work that outside line. He's not going to have the run off though, as Brendan Birch will still be down and around the inside. He's still there. No, Slater Colby clears them off of turn X, out of turns 4 exit. What a move for Slater. That could possibly be a top 3 podium interview position pass right there for Slater. Taking another look at this from, this is a great view of it out here. There's Brendan Birch. He works his way down around the inside, and then Slater just says, well, thank you very much. He had the better sort of angle going into the corner. Kind of washes out there a little bit on corner exit, but able to take away that final driver from the spot. Still not missing anything out and up front. 1.8 second gap. Jeremy E. Fletcher out of JFR Esports just signed with Copeland Motorsports. Will he be showing this pace? You know dang well he'll be showing this pace. The Toyota GR86 Cup cars. He'll be definitely. That brings us back to an inside joke and a half out there. Jeremy Fletcher will have to tell us between the differences between the. Have to break it down between the Mazda MX-5s as well as Toyota GR86 Cup cars. Slater, Stone, 2, 3. Slater backing around through roller coaster section to P number 2. He'll drop back Stone to P number 3. Brendan Birch up to P4. And Nico Colby still not closing in within that gap. Lap times ranging at about 2:07 for Fletcher, at least, 2:07.5 last lap. Last lap was a 2:08. We should be warranting these last couple laps of the race. Slater Colby going to play the way defensive line going into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Stone, racking around the upside. Brendan Birch is also knocking. Will they look 3? Nope, those to continue to look 2 between Stone and Stone and Brendan Birch that time. This is continuing to all but help Slater and Jeremy Fletcher right now as Stone and Brendan continue to fight it out there. Brendan Birch going to try to set up that switchback down around the inside. Clear. Brendan Birch now up to that final driver interview position out of Dallas, Texas, but has contact with Stone Colby. Stone, he makes the sacrifice. He goes down with the ship. Stone Colby does exactly what I mentioned earlier. He bumped, although he bumped the rear end out there from Brendan Birch, he bumped the front end as well after the contact. He did Brendan pointing back in the right direction. Unfortunately, now there from Birch, though, he's going to continue these positions as Nico Colby and Lucas Barnett down and around, and now clear up to P3 and 4, coming within these closing laps of the race. Here's a great race replay at this one. Stam Studio Network drone camera shots at it here. Oh, no. It all got, well, tight out of there off of quarter exit. Here comes Stone Colby. Oh, man, it was the battles back in between Brendan Birch. Oh, man, there goes, remember, we saw the side-by-side. Here comes Brendan backing around, had the switchback set up, and then it's just contact out there, go off of corner exit as they well, the cars are really upset right now for grip as well. Rear end already loose, and then just the slightest bit of contact up there with Stone. So now this puts us in a bit of a predicament, not necessarily within the battle for the race lead, but I'm talking about your third, fourth, and fifth on back. Drivers going to make their way down the start-finish straight for what should be. See if Barney the flagman throws the white flag, or if he keeps it on there with him. Barney is going to choose to throw that white flag this time by, so Jeremy Fletcher, 3-second gap up front. Slater Colby misses the last incident, and now there's contact with Nico Colby's rear bumper as you see his hands go to work. There goes Brendan Birch, says thank you very much, going into turns 1, 2, and 3. He's going to bring Lucas Barnett right on up there with him. Nico Colby drops back down to P5 as Joe Rainey is now works his way backing up at least to P6. That could have some big points implications for Joe Rainey as well as I'm talking to the good, because coming within these last 5 races of the season, as I mentioned earlier on in the race, points are going to be ever so hard to come by if you haven't had these top 5, top 10 finishes out there within the season. We have seen that for Joe Rainey. That's where he has those point standings available to him, but right now the points are so tight between 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. That's Joe. It's going to be tight out there between these closing laps of the race. Excuse me, of the season as well. Speaking of closing laps of the race, we are on the final lap of the race right now. Continuing to watch this battle heat up and ensue. Brendan Birch, Lucas Barnett, Nico Colby. It's a 3-way battle. There's Joe Rainey starting to join it as well. Final time by to the most important corner of the racetrack. Fletcher's going to lead him out there. Gap still continues to run the same. Slater Colby in the meat of the sandwich, but with a 4-second gap up there. Battles between final driver interview spot. It's up for grabs. Brendan Birch. Here comes Lucas Barnett working the slingshot, the bump and the run. Down and around the inside. Will he have what it takes to make it stick as here comes Brendan Birch. He's going to slide it up there on corner exit. That opens up the door for Nico Colby. Nico Colby, the black and gold vehiclebuyers.com machine, could have a birthday present up in his hands right now. Clear up and into that final driver interview spot. Jeremy Fletcher comes across the stripe to solidify the race win at Virginia International Raceway. Slater Colby P2, and here's that battle back for P3, 4, and 5. Nico, Brendan to the stripe. It'll be Nico Colby with the birthday present. Final driver interview spot given. Brendan Birch, he'll take it's a 3D movie across the stripe. Brendan Birch, he'll take P4. Lucas Barnett shows a oh my God, we're oh no, what was that camera shot? Oh man, well, stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. Oh my God, we're gonna check on some drivers, make sure that they are A-okay across the stripe. We're gonna check on some unofficial, official race results, as well as chat with our top 3 driver interviews. Warren Johnson, are you okay? Hide the wrist, hide. Oh my, Josh Hunter goes to the stratosphere. Congratulations, Jeremy E. Fletcher, another race win on the season. We'll be chatting with him as well as Slater and Nico in just a few moments' time. Jeremy, burn it down, well-deserved win. Just waiting on those unofficial race results out here before chatting with our top 3. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's Sean Stam out here on Stam Studio Network. And don't go anywhere. This is going to be a really, really fun top 3 driver interview booth. Here comes, well, I think, yeah, here comes those unofficial race results. Okay, well, it'll be Jeremy Fletcher, Slater Colby, Nico, top 3, Brendan Birch, top 4, Lucas Barnett, that'll be top 5, Joe Rainey, Warren Johnson, Connor Cunningham, Michael Tenegretta, Stone Colby, that rounds out the top 10. It'll be Josh Fair, Daniel Ramirez, Victor Ling, David Ramirez after they're both slip and slide spins and back up to B12, B14. Darren Colby after once, twice, thrice spins, not his fault at all, just out the rear end up there. Darren Hill finished out here P15. Lucas Barnett, P16. Thomas Dively, Diego Valdemarena, Kenneth Allis, and Virgil Kakdak, the top 20. Jason Holcomb, John Mullenkamp, and Mark Stepp, top 23. Well, this one will be fun, ladies and gents. Jeremy Fletcher, it's Sean up here in the booth. You got some copy, man.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Lights out pace out here tonight from VIR. What was going through your minds coming into the race? What was going through your mind as you continue to put B2A on him, at least the first half, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, we ran here. Obviously, I ran here in real life. I've swept the weekend the last 2 years here, so home away from home, I guess you could say. But me and Brandon Birch put in some time before the race, really dialing in a setup. Not far from a fixed setup, but just a couple minute touches I think really sealed the deal for me, and it was comfortable while I was driving, just putting in consistent lap times. You know, the first 2 laps, 3 laps, I felt like of a restart of the race start, we had a significant amount of pace on the rest of the field, and then it started to even out, but by that time I had a gap built, so it was hard for them to close back up.
Well, appreciate you breaking it down there for us, Jeremy. And next question there for you. The track temp was relatively all right there tonight, but how did the track feel on the tires as they continue to age, even with the competition caution slow them all back down?
Yeah, I mean, it picked up about I think 9 to 11 degrees. Actually, it went up 13 throughout the race. Yeah. Looking at it now, but being able to conserve my tires out front was definitely nice. So once that competition caution came out, just kept some heat in the tire, kept heat in the brake, and let it eat as soon as we went back green.
Well, Jeremy, who you shouting out to? You're back here with us in virtual victory lane.
The whole JFR Esports team, Brandon Birch for sitting there dialing in a setup with me, the Colby family, the Rainey family, everyone that really puts this together, you for streaming, and yeah, can't thank anybody else enough.
Hey, thank you so much, Jeremy, and I'm coming for you next Monday at West Coast Sim. No, I'm just kidding. It's fun to finally get out there with you side by side. Hopefully we're chatting with you once again next driver interview booth next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to show up with some more speed up there for Monday night racing. But back out here from Wednesday night, it's Slater and Nico that ran up the second and third. Slater, we'll start out here with you. Another P2 on the season. Got you up for copy.
Yep, I'm here.
Well, yeah, you finished on your lid, but at least it was all for fun. You showed some lights out pace here from VIR. Another, what was that, 6th, 7th qualifying effort? But I mean, the pace throughout the race, Slater, it's pretty immaculate. You put on a show for the race fans working your way through it.
Yeah, qualifying, I couldn't get a draft lap in, and I was sitting fourth for a while, so I was like, screw it, you know, that's okay. And then within like the last 2 minutes of qualifying, I shuffled back down to like 6th, and I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me now. But no, it was a fun race. Definitely had to manage the tires with the track heating up so fast. But yeah, I mean, Jeremy just had really good pace, and us guys for a while from 2 to about 5th or 6th were just battling, so it was able to get him farther and farther away. But then after the caution, I kind of just managed my tires pretty well, was able to capitalize on a couple mistakes and try and get through. So good points though, but one of these days I'll catch Jeremy and pass him, but I don't know when that'll be.
Well, until then, Slater, it's been a nice night here for you. Nice points, as you said, as we continue to crest our way throughout the season. Until you get up there catching Jeremy, I'm going to be hopefully right up there with. Nah, I'm just kidding. You'll be up there way before me. But Slater, more importantly, who are you shouting out? Who are you thanking out here tonight for another podium finish?
You, of course, for the broadcast. Everyone loves going back and watching it, and as do I. And everyone that puts time in for the league, everyone that shows up week in, week out. I was glad to see, over 20 drivers tonight, even missing some core people. So that was good that some people are staying to the end, and vehicle buyers and overstock vehicles. And shout out Nico, it's his birthday today. And yeah, hopefully we can, instead of P2, get P1 this weekend in real life at Apex. So yeah.
I appreciate it, Slater. The thank yous goes a long way back in behind the scenes. Best of luck out to you real life racing at Apex this weekend, and hopefully we're chatting with you. Hopefully they're chatting with you up in real life Victory Lane, and hopefully I am next Wednesday out at Apex MX-5 Sim Racing. Appreciate it, Slater. Have a great rest of your night, man.
You too, thanks.
All right, it'll be the man, the myth, the man of the hour. It's Nico Colby. How about you, Nico? You got yourself a copy?
Yeah, got a copy.
Excuse me. You worked your way up from, what was that, P19 and then qualifying. A birthday boy, highest positions gain on the track. Happy birthday to you, Nico. What happened in qualifying? Were you just making it fun for us to watch, or something happened out there to you?
Somewhat. I didn't really worry too much about my quality position, but I wanted one, but couldn't really get one in time, and just ended up starting from the back, and I just decided to make it fun and try to work my way up through the pack.
What do you think was the best corner to make some passes out here from? Because, I mean, you are obviously making passes in probably just about every single corner out here tonight, Nico.
Yeah, definitely just turn one, that long draft, that huge draft into a tight hairpin, and get a lot from that. And then the corner going into the back straight, I'm not sure what corner that is, but that one's a really good one since the draft, of course, and into a pretty tight hairpin again.
I agree right there with you, especially in turn one. Saw lots of moves out there. Saw kind of the cars get a little bit loose out there. Like you said, that switchback, especially as cars were running side by side. We appreciate you breaking it down there for us there, Nico. A little bit, this track's a little bit similar out there to Mid-Ohio. You getting ready for that? And what car are you going to take out there?
Yeah, probably just MX-5. The one I'm running currently just feels the best in my opinion. I set it up pretty good. Just feels the best, and yeah, I'm training for that right now, and hopefully it will go well.
Well, Nico, you appreciate your time, appreciate your efforts. Keep them coming. Real quick before we let you get going, who you shouting out?
You always, for the broadcast, always like to go back and watch them. Shout out everyone that helps with the league, everyone that joins the league, everyone that shows up every week, and just mom, dad, of course, and just, yeah, everyone that makes it fun.
I appreciate it, Nico. I know that goes a long ways back behind the scenes. Everybody that you thank, for me especially, thank you for putting on a show for the race fans. Happy birthday to you, man, and have a great rest of the night, Nico.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, I think that's going to about here do it for us. Sean, Stam Studio Network. Hopefully you have all enjoyed that one as much as I have. Happy birthday to the man once again. Congratulations to Fletcher again on that race win, as well as Slater B2, Nico B3. Then let's check on YouTube chat real quick. I mean, like they said, great job, Colby's. Zero the Racer, good lord, everyone just died at the end. Yeah, we have a little bit of fun at the end. Appreciate you, Zero, out there for joining us those closing laps. Malena, thank you again. Thanks all of you down there in YouTube chat, but continue to join out there on Stam Studio Network. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Those sponsors and affiliates up in the top right of the screen, as well as those YouTube members. I'm talking Ricardo Cano, Ashley L. Austin, Mice, Tyler Massey, as well as Joe Stipe and John Mollenkamp. Thank you all so much. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. And make sure you stick around for tomorrow night's West Coast Sim Racing's Porsche Cup, race 1 of the season, broadcasted, at least race 1, here live on SSN. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your nights, and I'll see you then.